I'm Ron Boone.
And it is the Jazz and the Sacramento Kings, and let's take a look at what's going on. Donovan Mitchell is in his new Don ones that are for Louisville. They debuted today for the Louisville Cardinals. Joe Ingles has got the T-shirt special going on today. Make sure everybody goes and buys the Support Australia shirt that Joe is supporting.
Amazing shirts. Should be sold out by today. Well, they're not on Saturday. But I know there's some people really well off out there that can match my 3-point donation.
Okay.
I know I make a lot of threes.
500.
I'm doing 500. You can do $1.
Oh, okay.
$10.
Yeah.
I'm going to get Brian Smith to do at least $1,000.
Right.
I know you got some money. Locked On Sports is doing real well. You can do at least 50.
And there was Vince scowling.
He turned his back to
Vince will be happy if the Niners win this weekend. That's all Vince needs in his life. Here's the arena tonight. Bogdan Bogdanovich, and he will play. They're I said you'd stop scowling if the Niners win.
Oh, wow.
What'd he say?
He said he heard that. He turned his back when he was talking.
Bogdan Bogdanovich will play. They're 2-7 when he doesn't play.
Oh,
so that's a big deal for him to be back. They're also not very good record-wise when De'Aaron Fox plays, but they've had so many injuries this year, it's hard to tell anything about them. There's Vlade Divac talking to Justin Zanuck and David Morway. They made a deal today. They traded Trevor Ariza today for Kent Bazemore of Portland with some other pieces involved. They got 2 second-round picks in the deal. They also traded Caleb Swanigan in the deal. They traded 3 of their guys for 2 of Portland, so they opened a roster spot as well as getting 2 second-round draft picks. And Portland saved a ton of luxury tax money, so not the most interesting deal from a pure basketball standpoint, but I don't know, the 8th spot in the
Watched him play last night.
Yeah.
And I thought that I understand what they just did because a lot of compliments about Carmelo Anthony and how they're using him. You know, at least that's what the broadcasters were saying. But Bazemore, I thought, was their better perimeter defensive player. And so I don't understand what they're doing.
Well, they're saving money on the luxury tax on a team that's not going to make the playoffs, is what I think they're doing. But I have a theory on Kent Bazemore. He fits in a little bit to my wing players who can't shoot that get labeled as good defensive players. Because there has to be some reason they're in the league. And I'm not actually always convinced that they are good defensive players. They just get labeled that way.
Okay.
Rather than actually being good defensive players. Like, right? Like there's, I don't know, does that make sense? Like we get these guys because Kent Bazemore can't really shoot that well.
Or they'll label a player where he's less talented, but he's so smart.
But I never thought Ronnie Brewer was that good a defensive player, frankly. And they always would say Ronnie's a great defensive player. Well, the reason they said that is because he couldn't shoot, so there must be some explanation of why he's on the floor.
Right. Well, they picked him the first round as well.
Right. So, anyway, that's a little bit of my theory. I was trying to use a local, not Ronnie Brewer, I don't mean to beat up on a retired Ronnie Brewer. I was just trying to think of a local example fans would understand.
Okay,
so my point is I'm not sure I think Kent Bazemore is a lockdown great wing defender. I also think there's very, very few great lockdown wing defenders in the NBA. It's so hard to defend.
So hard to defend. And I'll tell you what makes it so difficult is guys that they're running guys off screens like 2 and 3 times a possession, the re-screens. I mean, it's just different now. And you can be a good one-on-one position defensive player, but you're going to get picked off. And the players are talented enough now to the point where they're going to have the advantage.
By the way, we haven't talked about that game the other night was incredible.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, there was so much stuff at the end of it, and the officials kind of tainted it by the end, but kind of digest that night, that was something else. That was a unbelievable game. Donovan is watching video over there. I wonder if Louisville, he might be streaming the Louisville Cardinals basketball game for all we know. I will guess. I would guess that's what, for him to check that. That's what he's looking at.
Well, Louisville is one of the list of teams, schools that were number 1 that got knocked off this year.
Right. He was fine with it, though. He said, you don't want to be, remember that? He came over and talked to us. He said, you don't want to be number 1 that early.
Yeah.
Doesn't do you. It only matters if you're number one at the end, right?
That's right.
Donovan the other night, pretty exceptional, 46 points.
He was unbelievable. And when Ingram got hot, Donovan matched him and gave the Jazz a chance to win the basketball game down the stretch. He has a knack now, and watching very closely, when he thinks he needs to take over the game, or when he thinks he needs to, maybe take over the game is probably over-exaggerating talent and all that kind of stuff, but where he thinks he needs to make things happen on the floor, whether it's scoring, because he gets a lot of attention, so that makes things better for other players out on the floor there as well.
He missed his final 6 shots. Think that's what he remembers that night, or do you think he remembers the 46 and rolling moving forward?
If I was him, I would remember the ones that kept us in the ballgame, the one that gave us a chance for Rudy to go to the free throw. Otherwise, he's just not there. But being a competitor and probably as just the kind of guy that he is, he's probably remembering. You always remember the one, damn, I should have made that.
Here's Joe Ingles working on going right. This is the biggest evolution of his game. His assisted, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but just so people, his assisted three-point shots are down to about 60%. He used to be at 90% and 80% the last few years. So he is clearly, that's where he's evolved his game, is this stuff he's working on with Vince right here. It's why watching this every night is so interesting.
Yeah, what's interesting is they're using it now quite a bit, and Joe is using it, what he's doing off the dribble on what direction he wants to go. Now, if you watch him, when he goes right, comes back to his left. So when he goes right, wants to come back to his left, he backs up and then goes around the pick. See if he does it here now.
These two are always battling over whose ball has the right to go into the basket. This is like their ongoing battle.
This is all just backs up. It's all about trying to get the angle, position the defender to the point where he has the advantage. And he's not the quickest guy on the floor, so he has to do that very well.
Look at Joe practicing the inbound, coming to get it. That is one of our plays. Swish.
See that? Didn't touch the net.
Didn't touch the rim.
Didn't touch the rim, man. Yeah.
All right, Ron's got to go do TV. I got to get some to Adrian. That is our show.